If you've been doing everything you were told, seeing a physio or your chiro or your other physical therapists, doing your exercises and booking the appointments, and your pain keeps coming back anyway, this video is for you. Because you haven't been doing it wrong and you're not broken. What's more likely is that you've been given a treatment plan that doesn't treat the problem that you have. In this video, I'm going to show you what's actually driving your pain and how to make your treatments actually work for you, not against you. Hi, I'm Ellen. I'm a chronic pain counselor with background in physical therapy and live with chronic neck pain for 15 plus years and has gone through the gambit of the physical therapy world. Super quick note before we get into it. If you're dealing with new or worsening or concerning symptoms, please get them assessed first. This video is for the person who has already done that, who has been assessed, treated, strengthened, stretched, poked and prodded, and is still stuck. The physical therapy model for treating pain makes complete sense for injuries. You damage something, the tissue heals, you support that healing with movement, strength, or manual therapy, and the pain resolves. And for acute injuries, chef's kiss. But chronic pain that has been going on for months or years, pain that moves around or flares for no obvious reason, that improves and then just plateaus. This kind of pain is not behaving like an injury. And when you keep applying the injury model to something that isn't an injury, you can do everything right and still get nowhere. Not because you failed, but because the model doesn't fit the problem. This is the part that completely changed the way that I understand pain and how I go about helping my clients with theirs. All pain is produced by the brain and the nervous system. Every single type. A broken bone, a tight neck, that weird feeling in your shoulder that no one can explain. The brain is always the one generating the sensation, not the body part that hurts. With an injury, there's a clear cause, a predictable healing timeline, and a treatment approach to match it. Not always perfectly and not always smoothly, but it's there. But the nervous system can keep producing pain long after the tissue is healed, or even when there is no damage to begin with. If it's decided that this area of the body needs protecting, it will sound the alarm. And the alarm often sounds like pain, or burning, or numbness, or tingling, or shooting, or tension, or inflammation, or heat, and so many other things. And this is the part that trips people up, because stretching it, strengthening it, getting it treated, none of these things are necessarily going to change that urge to protect. If the nervous system is wound up, it will generate more pain, not less, no matter what you do to the body part. But here's the thing. Unlike tissue damage, you have real influence over your brain's alarm system, and you can turn it down. And the very first step is to genuinely understand that pain doesn't automatically mean damage. That single shift in belief is where change can begin. Now, don't get me wrong, physical therapy can be very, very helpful. Movement, strength, manual therapy all matter, but not always for the reason that you think. Sometimes the reason a session helps isn't the technique that is used. It's because you felt heard or reassured. Someone you trusted looked at your body and told you you can move this way. That will directly affect your nervous system, not just your muscles and your joints. But there is a problem. You can walk out of a session feeling amazing, and then 2 days later, the pain just comes back. The treatment gave the nervous system a temporary sense of safety, but it didn't change the underlying beliefs. The belief that the area is fragile or needs protecting or there's something wrong. When every uncomfortable sensation or every flare-up is treated as a problem to solve, when the focus stays on the sore spot, when no one investigates what's going on with the beliefs about the pain, treatments can accidentally reinforce the belief that something is broken. The brain gets the message, something must be damaged. Okay, I'll keep sounding the alarm. And there's another more subtle way that this can happen, which is a massive problem in the physical therapy world and healthcare in general, language. A practitioner might say a word like atrophy, meaning a muscle has become deconditioned or gotten smaller. Completely routine, can happen for a variety of reasons. But the client on the table hears that word and may think, my body is wasting away. This exact scenario happened to a client of mine when she was told that her quad muscle was atrophying. Atrophying? Is that the right? Atrophying. Which was true, but my client was understandably confused and scared. of that word. She imagined her muscle wasting away, like dying in her leg. And that increased the pain. She was already in a lot of pain and that made it worse. And it wasn't until the misunderstanding was corrected that her pain was able to reduce again, all because of a word. To the practitioner, clinical language is normal. But to a brain on high alert, it can become like a horror movie playing in the back of your head. And once that horror movie is running in the background, of course your nervous system braces and protects, and unfortunately creates pain. Fear is not a side effect of chronic pain. Fear is the fuel. So what do you do about it? Because the answer is not the endless search for finding another treatment. Or paradoxically, it's not even about stopping the treatment that you're currently doing. It's about changing the message that you're sending to your nervous system. And that starts with what you believe about your pain. My mum years ago had hamstring tendinopathy, pain in the top of the hamstring that had been going on for ages. She saw physios and doctors, she did all the right things, but all of that treatment, all of that focusing and monitoring on the pain was slowly making things worse because of the subconscious beliefs that were going on underneath. Every time she did an exercise, she was worried that she was doing further damage. And that fear was telling her brain that the area was in danger, which meant that movement that should have been helping was actually producing less function, not more. And she was in constant pain. It wasn't until her Pilates instructor told her something very simple. Nothing is wrong. You're not damaged. Moving will not harm you. That's something that I say to my clients quite a lot. Even if it hurts, it's not harmful. That was it. No new treatment, no new exercise, just that shift in perspective. The pain did not disappear instantly, but the fear reduced. And that reduction in fear was enough for movement to actually start doing what it was supposed to do, which was reduce the tendinopathy. Instead of every rep sending her brain the message of danger, it started receiving the message of safety. I can do this. I'm getting better. Function is coming back. The same movement that had been making things worse started to make things better because the meaning behind the movement had changed. Same body, same hamstring, same exercises, completely different internal experience. That's not coincidence. That's mechanism. So the next time you do your prescribed exercises or you go to your physical therapist that you trust, keep this in the back of your mind. This pain may be unpleasant, but it doesn't mean that I'm damaged. These movements are helping me and my brain is starting to understand that. Now, there is a caveat to this. There are some physical therapists that just love to inflict pain. It's a real pet peeve of mine, but I have a video about just that, how to find a good physical therapist or anyone in the healthcare system. Link in the description down below. In the meantime, that little shift in your attitude can make a huge difference. Not because it's rainbows and sunshines positive thinking, but because your nervous system is receiving a different signal. You're not here to fix a broken body part. You're here to show your brain that you are safe. And that is where your work begins. So you might be thinking one of two things right now, depending on where you're at. Maybe you're still unsure if your pain really is coming from an injury or structural damage, or whether it's coming from your nervous system. I made a flowchart to help you figure out exactly that. That's in this video. 5 questions that help you figure out what category you might likely be sitting in. This video was built around neck pain, but the process applies to any chronic system that hasn't responded to treatment in the way that it should. Or if this is really making sense and you're ready to start working with the fear and the beliefs keeping your nervous system stuck, I have a video on exactly that. It goes deeper into fear avoidance, what that actually looks like in the body, and how to gently start breaking that cycle. Either way, sending you lots and lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.